Hi everyone. Today I'm answering a question, and the question is, how does this awareness of the inner body help a person to have a consciousness shift or awakening, and how does that attribute to the collective awakening? Now I'm going to answer the question really from out of my own experience, and everything that I'm going to relate to you is something that I've experienced myself and discovered by pure accident, actually. Um, the first awakening happened in 2018 when I did a physical meditation on the beach. This meditation is called the form, where I take my arms up over my head and then pass them along my body like this, and then up again really slowly. In the moment, I didn't quite know what I was doing, but what I was doing is I was aware of the subtle sensations that I was feeling in my body as I was passing my hands along like this, and then up again. And then after the meditation, I sat down on a rock, and my whole perception changed. I was looking at nature. It was still exactly the same scene as what was there before, but my consciousness shifted and something opened, and I saw an incredible amount of beauty just, I want to say, crashing in. Everything just became brighter, more beautiful, more harmonious, and like completely heavenly. It was really like seeing heaven in that moment. And it only lasted for a few seconds, and it was very overwhelming, like and I sort of shut it down. My body was quivering like this, and my body was shaking, and I was actually thinking, oh my word, I'm having like orgasms here through my body. So I shut it down, and I made an agreement, and I said, let this come in slowly, because I could feel that what was coming in was of such incredible magnitude that my consciousness needed some time to get accustomed to it. Since then, I have been practicing to tune into my body sensations again in nature. I've tried various different techniques in order to have that opening again. And every now and again, I am successful. I find that when I want the exterior to change, it doesn't happen. But when I simply focus on feeling my body, then my consciousness opens to see this, I can call it heaven, which is right here. It's like one perceives without the filtering mind, but one perceives what is really there instead of the interpretive mind putting all kinds of stories. Right. So I've been practicing that more and more and more, and also practicing to bear, to sustain that beautifulness and to cope with it. Another benefit that I had from this experience was that I started having full body bliss experiences during lovemaking, and these bliss experiences last for a very long time, and it's very easy for me to access them. You can call them full body orgasms, but then it's lovemaking on a completely spiritual level, because there's bliss running right through the body. That's just one of the perks, and it accelerates your lovemaking to an incredibly satisfying, blissful state. Then there's also been some manifestations and miracles. I'm going to link some of the videos where I speak about miracles. What I've also been doing is I have been helping my clients to feel so deep into their bodies, and I find that every time I successfully guide a person to feel so deep into their bodies that their body starts quivering with delight right through the body, then they immediately come with a spiritual insight. Like it's always the same, even though people use different words. The spiritual insight is a realization of one's preciousness, alignment, being part of everything, being in absolute alignment and love and light. Now, one can teach a person these things, but I find that when I guide a person to feel so deep into their bodies, these insights come automatically. So that's again why I say focusing on the body sensations, but like really deep, really, really deep, brings automatic spiritual insight, automatic consciousness shift without having to learn it from an outside source. It comes into the being, right? Now, because I'm seeing this as a massive consciousness shift within myself, I'm experiencing pinpricks of it, or periods of time when I'm in it. And I've been doing research on it. How do I awaken this in other people? What does it actually mean in my life? And I have been meditating and meditating into these sensations and feeling, what is it? What is this energy? Because it feels like energy, like electricity sparking through the body. What is this energy? And I've been meditating in and in and in and in and in, and meditating through the layers, and found that, inside all the sensations, the feelings, the emotions, there's this underlying stream of pure consciousness. And when I read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, I see that he speaks about the exact same process of going in, into the body, into the inner body, until one senses this clear stream of awareness. We can call it awareness, consciousness, still presence within the body, right? Okay. Now, there's also some evidence, and I have encountered some people that are speaking about that they have healed their bodies through meditating, breathing, and simply feeling this delicious sensation like a ball of golden light moving through the body, which is exactly what we're working with here. And you can look at this video where I relate one of these incidences. You will also see that when you go and Google enlightened being, go and Google enlightened being and look at the pictures. The pictures that we see is of a human form with the energy centers or the chakras lit up. Now that is a fully conscious, awakened being, and that's how they are illustrated. And this is exactly the same energy or awareness or aliveness that I'm experiencing in my body, and it totally correlates for me that this is the path or the process that is referred to when we speak about this enlightenment of the body, or enlightenment or conscious being. Right. Now, to further my research, I then decided to go and do the Vipassana meditation. And what drew my interest to the Vipassana meditation is that it focuses on body sensations, exactly what I have been doing, have been meditating, and have been doing with my clients, or helping my clients to feel. This is the first time I have allowed myself to be taught by anyone. So I did that in May this year. I did the Vipassana meditation, and I did a silent retreat for 10 days, and we are taught how to meditate into the sensations of the body. It's a great way to quiet the mind and to simply feel on the into the sensations of the body, into the sensations of the body. Now, this time I was not moving around, but it felt like I was like doing this inside my body, even though I'm sitting still. I'm like feeling, like feeling the body. And it was this luxury of doing this process for so long, like 10 hours a day, 10 plus hours a day, that by day 5, I started losing total track of time, like time stopped to exist every now and again. I also started really easy tapping into this body awareness, and then nature just pops into like, whoa, heaven. And then on day 8, and this is because I've been visiting the sensations like right through the body, from the top of the head to the toes, to the fingertips, through the torso, like everywhere in the body, just focusing on the sensation. So simple, yet actually so difficult sometimes because it is so simple. No mind, no expectation, just feeling the body, feeling the body, feeling the body. It's a Buddhist meditation. And then on day 8, I was meditating in my room, and then suddenly it felt like my whole body from my feet up just whoop, very quickly, whoop, just filled with light. And I started throwing up. I think that's still like emotional residue that was in the body or something. Started throwing up, and then went outside, and oh my word, my whole body was pulsing in a certain vibration. It was like woof, 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 pulsing with the light. But my entire environment, nature, the sky, the earth, the trees, the plants, the birds, everything was pulsing in and out of reality. Totally, incredibly bright, heavenly, perfect, beautiful, in harmony, and not really existing. Sort of, I could see I could feel the energy of everything before it gets manifested. Like, oh my word, it was actually quite a bit much to feel. My body was also going with these waves of like bliss. Whew. Incredible. It felt like I could just dissipate. Then I understood what it means when people speak about the veil, or all of this is a projection. Everything looked like really bright, like it's thin and like the light on a screen, just thin, thin, thin. And then later, when I calmed down and so on, I simply stayed in this bliss state. It felt like every cell in my body was in orgasm, and so was everything around me. And this lasted for days. And even when I went home after the retreat, I found that I could be in the same environment as other people. Like, I would be driving in my car, and the people that are in the car with me would be talking about world matters. And I could feel how that consciousness of the worry and those issues, how that consciousness sort of ties itself into itself. And I could decide not to participate in that. But sitting in exactly the same environment and driving in the same environment as the other people, I was like tripping just from meditation. And what I'd do is I'd zoom in, feel my hands, my arms here, my legs up to my knees, my spine, my face. See, now my body had practiced how to feel so much, feel so much, feel so much, feel so much. And we would be driving with this like buzzing, feeling body. And my movie was like heaven. I am driving in heaven. The mountains are one big glorification of existence, the sunlight, the shadows. As I drive past the trees, they're like, oh, oh, look at us. Oh, yes. And then coming back, I could feel when I come back into my own familiar environment how my old worry patterns want to entwine me again. And the way to move out of them, not giving them attention, not giving them energy, would be just to stay present, stay present, stay present in the body. Ignite the bliss sensations in the body. And then somehow that reflects bliss, peace, harmony all around me. Whew. But now I've been practicing to go back into this state because as I'm going on with my life, I get entwined in other consciousness patterns again. But now I can start seeing them. Okay. So this is my personal experience. I've also been experimenting with what happens when I tune into my inner body, my body sensations, and I go about my day. I have to remind myself every now and again when I go out and about to tune into my spine, feel my face, feel my hands, like inside my hands, feel my feet. When I am like that in my normal day, then I notice. So this is a tip for people that want to follow this path. When we tune in our normal day, into the body sensations, you could be driving, you could be sitting somewhere waiting, you could be walking somewhere, you could even be talking with someone. What happens when you are aware of the inner body is you come into presence. Immediately, you notice when your thoughts are lending themselves to the future or the past, which is not here, or lending themselves to old patterns. So it brings you back into presence. When you're speaking to someone, you're much more present. I find nature is a good place to do this, just because there's so much beauty to be observed in nature. And when we do this in nature, we just feel so much more of this vibrancy around us. Okay. So now I've been speaking about the individual, the shift in consciousness and awakening. We can experience it in spurts, in blips. We can keep adding to these little experiences to make them more and more and more so that our days become filled with more and more and more of this blissful, calm, present awareness. And that is a shift in consciousness and awakening. We can also regress by not doing it. Or we may choose to keep exploring in a very humble, simple way. How does this apply to the collective awakening? So I can't say that, a lot of people are awakening right now at this time, because I believe that after seeing, through the veil, that time doesn't really exist, but it's more like, can we be in the now? Can we in the now wake up? When we wake up, when one person wakes up, we realize that our consciousness creates our reality. I still have to practice more at this. We're getting there. But the individual starts realizing that you are it. You are it. You are your reality. Everything gets projected in every moment. The more people do this, the more consciousness will be around everywhere. The more present people will be, the more in love and light people will be. I also believe that the world is in an absolute crisis. Well, we are putting ourselves in crisis. We are destroying ourselves. We are destroying ourselves by fighting each other and by destroying our planet because we feel separated from the energy, from the creator force. When we all wake up, when there is a collective waking up, we stop fighting the wars with wars. We realize that the cure for our destructive condition is not to fight the destructive condition with more destruction and hate, but we realize that the resolution is a complete shift in consciousness, a complete shift in awareness, where everyone in the entire planet shifts into a new paradigm. Now, this is me, my personal experience. What I am feeling, especially after I came back from the Vipassana, what I am feeling is I almost feel like there is, this is just my perception, like a ring of light beings around our planet, urging us, beckoning us to snap out of it, to wake up, like, woo, wake up, wake up, see through the veil, shift the paradigm, shift. With my seeing through the veil, and every time I see this heavenly nature, light, beauty, every time I see it, I now understand what Jesus meant when he spoke about heaven coming to earth through us. I know the Buddha also speaks about the nirvana that comes into being. Now, when I say this, when I say heaven coming to earth through us, I'm like, I feel an incredible sense of responsibility, urgency. It's like each one of us is given a life. Now you're going to live this life by turning around with the same old patterns. Or in this life that you have, you are going to shift into the new consciousness. It's like a choice we have. And I feel we have a job to do. Like maybe we actually have a job to do. There's so much flippin' trauma, pain, sadness, heartache, destruction. Surely it'll be great if we can transcend that, change that, shift that, and to realize that we can play a role in that. That this life that you have been given has the potential to be one of the transformative stitches in the shifting in the consciousness, in the awakening, in the resolution of the trauma, to go back into our original state, which is the bliss state, the heaven on earth. Right. So, lastly, I will say that my work is, how I understand it at this point, is to simply do my own practical explorations in this shift in consciousness and to do what I can to shift myself for my own benefit and the benefit of all. And the way that I personally, Leon, can help my fellow human beings is with this one specific thing of how to go into the body. I just see everywhere that people are very removed from their bodies and don't know how to go into the body, or don't know how to feel the inner body, don't know how to feel so deep that absolutely everywhere you can have like a gasm of presence in the body. You know, meditation always points inwards, inwards, inwards. I was quite surprised when I started meditating and just like, oh, this is a spiritual practice, but I'm going inwards, 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 inwards. And we have just been going more and more and more and more and more inwards and just discovered more and more and more and more and more gold and more and more revelations and more and more truths. So my work is to guide people into how to feel the body, because you think you feel the body. You can feel more. You can feel more. And I want to leave with you this one phrase. I love this phrase. How much can I feel? How much can I feel? Just keep asking that over and over and over. Make it physical. Physical. How much can I feel? It will be accompanied with emotions as well. How much can I feel? The more we feel, the more we heal, and the more we come home. I love you, and I want to invite you to ask me questions. I would love to answer them. Thank you.